everyone. Yeah, very good morning. So shall we begin the session? Yes, today is again the revision of the quality system in IT. That is about the part number 2. We have studied in the last class it's about the PPTs, what we are going to study, what we are going to teach. Now next is the part number 2. That is the PDF that we have explained already. So let's start with the chapter number 1. That is the introduction of this, introduction to this criteria, introduction to this quality system in IT. Chapter number 1 is introduction. So why we are using the quality system in IT? What is the main crux? By 3 methods we may learn the wisdom. What is the main wisdom that is used? So we have learned that there are multiple tools, there are multiple scenarios that is used with the wisdom, that is used with the nobles, that is used with the various conditions. First by the intimation, which is very easiest. Third by the experience, which is the bitterest. So first is by the reflection, then imitation, then by experience, which is the bitterest. So these methods are used with the wisdom, these methods are used with the reflection, imitation, and the experience. That is the chapter number 1, introduction. So what are the various preconceptions, or what are the various preceptions that is used in the data scenario for the data, that is used in the data scenario for various activities that is used. So let's see what are the various activities that is considered out. So let's see what are the various tools that is used over here. So these are the various tools that is used with the preconceptions, that is used with the pre scenarios that we are going to study. Scenario. So why we are using the scenario? Why we are using the preconception that is available over here? The preconception includes the provider, preconception includes the software provider, white run money, whatever the term that is used. So that perceptions will be used as a data, that perceptions will be used as a familiarity that is used with the various standards, bodies, accreditation body, or whole raft of the publication that is used. So how to think, or how we think about the ISO 9000. So to the advocate, ISO 9000 is the standard form, is the standard criteria, and all the negative comments have nothing to do with the standard but the way it has been interpreted by the organization, consultant, and the auditors. That means when we talk about the ISO 9000, that is the International Standard Organization 9000, that is what is to be perceived, what is to be get, that is tend to be the standard that supports the infrastructure, that supports the participants. And this makes any discussion on the subject difficult and inevitably leads to the disagreement. Whatever the disagreement procedures, whatever the disagreement criteria, that will be very difficult, and that leads to the disagreement procedure that is used in the discussion part. And some people often think about the ISO 9000 as a system, and as a group of the documents, ISO is used as a set of the interrelated ideas, principles, rules, and could therefore be considered as a system in the same way as we refer to the metric system or the imperial system of the measurement. Then ISO 9000 is both an international standard, and until December 2000 was a family of some 20 international standards. And as a standard, when we talk about the standard, so ISO 9000 was divided into 4 parts, with part number 1 providing the guidelines on the selection and the use of the other standard in the family that is used with the selection. And the family of the standards also included the requirements for quality assurance and guidelines on the quality management and the quality criteria. And some also argued about the ISO 9000 that is used with the criteria, that is used with the critics, that is used with the standards. Anything that is wrong about this one. And ISO 9000 is also perceived as a label, as a criteria that is given to the family of the standards and the associated certification schemes, whatever the certification scheme that is used. And however, certification was never a requirement of any of the standards in ISO 9000 family. It is a goal that is to be achieved, that is to be targeted. Now, how we think about the quality management system, what we think about the quality management system, how we think about the quality management system. So when we think about a quality management system that is used, that is organized way of doing, and for someone, it rests in the minds of the leaders, for other one, it is translated onto the paper. So that is a quality management content, that is a quality management system. Now, there are multiple activities that is used in the or that is bolted into the organization, such as the management review, internal audit, document control, record control, correctiveness, preventive action, without putting in the practice what we are going to use with the system integrity. Now, these are the bolt-on system, that is EMS, SMS, and the QMS. The way you manage, the way you consider the content, the way we manage the business, that is used with the ISO 14001 that is come along. This resulted in the formalization of the another part of their management system to create an environment management system, that is the EMS, that is used with the ISO 9000, that is used with the ISO 14000, and any other management system standard that is also flowed, that is also understandable. And when we talk about the understandability, so there is a 1994 edition of the ISO family of the standard that was also characterized by the procedure, by the perception, by the quality that is being considered. And in almost every element of the ISO 9000 standard, that is also there was requirement for the suppliers to establish and maintain the documented procedure, whatsoever the documented procedure that is being carried out, that is being used with the documented concern. So these are the three terms: EMS, QoS, and the SMS. Now this is separating the assurance activity from the management activities. What are the various assurance activities? What are the various management activities that is used with the standard? And when we talk about the quality system, that can be defined as the organization structure, procedure, processes, and the resources needed to implement quality management. So whatever the quality system that is defined, whatever the quality criteria that is defined. So what is the quality system? That is the organization, structure, either the procedure, processes, and the resources that is needed to implement the quality management, that are required to implement the quality management. So procedure, processes, resources that is followed up to implement quality management, that is not a set of the document, that is a procedure, policies that is required to implement quality management. And there also has been a perception in the service industry that ISO 9000 has only deal with the procedural aspect of a service, not only the professional aspects. For example, in a medical practice, ISO 9000 is often used only for the processing patients, not for the medical treatment. And that is used with the quality system once again that has been focused only on the admin aspects, and not the legal issues. And the argument for this is the professional bodies that deals with the professional side of the business. And in other words, the quality system only addresses the non-technical issues. Whatever the non-technical issues that is considered over here, that leaving the profession to address the technical issues. And this is not quality management, and this is not concern about this one. And the quality of the service also depends upon the technical and the non-technical aspects of the service. And patients who are given the wrong advice would remain dissatisfied even if their parties, if their papers were in order, if they are courteous about the data, courteous about the attention, and that advice promptly that is achieved with the quality management content, that is advice with the quality management. Then how we think about the certification? What do we think about certification? What is certification? How it is used? So that is used with the ISO 9000 standard, and there is a certification that is used to retain the certification part. That is, there is no difference to make the organization that is managed out. We cannot demonstrate the other that we have reached or he has reached a certain level of the education without having to prove it every time. And people who know him don't care that he did not take the exam. It is only those that who do not him or do not know him that he will have an opportunity, he will have a difficulty convincing. And many organizations were weakened or driven to speak or seek the ISO 9000 certification by pressure from customer rather than as an incentive to improve the business performances. That is used for the quickest route to the certification. And this critics known this coercion and like the most commands and control strategies that believed is resulting in the managers cheating just to get the badge. So what was out of the order? That is a character was that the supplier that were known to the customer that were made to the jump to this who so this criteria that is available for data. And it becomes a necessary able to do the business. And certainly, when perceived as a mean to get a badge, the standard was no more than a marketing tool that is used with the command and the control. And certification is not a requirement of the ISO 9000, nor it is increased by the standard. And this is used with the ISO 9001 that also requires the suppliers to establish a quality system to ensure about the need requirements, about the met requirements, about the product that is specified with the organization goals that is used to specify the OWN's requirement. And when ISO 9000 come along, many organizations embarked upon a course of action that were perceived to have no rule that is except to keep the patch the ISO 9000 certification. And this is also the suggested there are two approaches to using the ISO 9000 standard that is used. One is the management motivated, one is the stakeholder motivated. So there are two parts in this one, management motivated and the stakeholder motivated, that suggested that the supplier should consult ISO 9001 standard to understand the basic concepts that few organizations did this. And it is also suggested that this time the management motivated